This is they call them a strawberry banana tiller. That's how they identify them over the radio. Basically, it's red and yellow. Basic service on these, I start out like I generally do any other piece of gas equipment. Start with gas, oil, filter, and a pull cord. Just check the gas tank. We want to make sure our fuel is at about the 3/4 mark right here. On these tillers, when you're checking the oil, you want to make sure they're level. You want to make sure you can level them out with this little lever back here. This is for depth control normally, but every once in a while, I have a tiller in here like this. This is not the correct way to check the oil. You definitely want to bring your engine out until it's level. When you get your engine level, you're going to check your oil. Basically, you just want the oil right there to the tip. Where the oil gets poured in, this is where you fill it at as well. That's good, so we don't need to check that. Put it in. Over here we got the air filter. Go ahead and check it. There's a couple things you need to check on these as well that is really important. When you're inspecting the air filter, there's a couple things you need to look at. One, you need to look at the seat right here. Make sure you got a good rubber seat so to keep the dust from getting into the filter. And number two, you need to be able to see light through this. All we really do on these is we tap them out. If you can't see light through the elements, then we need to change the filter out. We need to inspect the outer filter to make sure that there's no cuts or tears, or it's just so clogged that it's unrepairable. Once we've determined that it's good, we'll put it back on. This can come off sometimes when you're taking these things off to check them. Sometimes it'll stick to the base of this thing. It's really important to check to make sure it goes, that you have one on there. If you don't, we need to find a replacement for it, because this thing will get water into the carburetor and or dust. Make sure you get everything put back in together the way it came out. Generally, when you're checking the air filter, if you put your wing nuts in the cover, they keep you from losing them. Generally, after I get done checking the oil, the air filter, and the gas, I'll come over here to the pull cord assembly, just make sure the pull cord's good on it. Pull it all the way out. You can't pull it no more. Inspect it. Look for any frays or damage. Put that in there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to check the transmission dope in this thing. Generally, all you have to do that is to grab a flathead screwdriver. Once you come in right here, there's going to be a screw. Kind of a pain to get to, but pull that out. And get warm. Get warmer. Basically, like you can see it right there. On another rule of thumb, if it's coming out, you know it's full. I can visually see it. Sometimes you can take an Allen wrench and kind of dip down in there. It's right outside the door, John. Turn to your right. You just tighten that back up firmly because you don't want it coming loose when it's being used.
I can add to that.
Okay, I figured you could. Okay, after you check the gear dope, what I generally do when I'm down here is I go ahead and check and make sure there's nothing inside the seal area here. Sometimes if it's real bad, you can actually take and get you a pair of needle nose and get it out. This doesn't look all that bad. Looks like she would just pull it out of there. Once that's out of there, what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and do a visual inspection of your belts over here. As you can see at this belt right here on the side, it needs to be replaced. If you look inside of here when your belts get looking like this, it generally means they're shot. You can see it's cut, torn, dry rotted. So obviously you're not going to get good belt tension on this with a belt looking like that, so you'd want to replace it. If you don't know what size belt to put on it, ask. Usually there's a marking on the outside of the belt that will tell you what size belt it is. Hopefully here in the future we can put the sizes of the belts on these videos for you guys. Basically, you just want to take your housing off with these bolts here, pull this off, and replace the belts. Next, what we're going to do is grease your back wheel fittings. Can be easily forgotten, but your wheel bearings will go bad if you do not grease them. So we'll get a grease gun and grease them up. Basically, we're just going to put the grease gun on there. Just pump the grease till you see it come out. You also kind of want to inspect your tines to make sure you got good teeth on them. Make sure they're not rounded off, worn out. Then probably right at the end of this, you probably want to do a quick visual inspection of anything that might be missing or damaged. If you see anything, you can replace it. If it's missing a bolt, replace it. And at the end of everything, you penetrant and all kinds of cleaner. These things can get dirty. That's basically what they do, is churn dirt. Quick wipe down, and that's basically all there is to servicing a mid-time tiller.